We start the lecture with the basic cell processes. In this lecture, we are going to cover the tissue types, organ systems, and introduce homeostasis. This week's learning objectives are explaining the body's basic organization, explain the major things in the physiology, homeostasis, mass balance, and the simple control system. What is human physiology? The study of normal function of a living organism and its components, including all its chemical and physical processes. Why do bioengineering students study physiology? Biomedical engineers should understand the physiology in order to understand pathophysiology. Major things in physiology. First, structure and function are closely related. For example, hemoglobin, a small change in its protein structure, just one amino acid different, leads to the sickle cell disease. Second, energy is essential. Energy has to be balanced. Unbalanced energy intake and output leads to the disease. Third, information flow coordinates body function. Nerve system, endocrine system are responsible for this information flow. Fourth, the body monitors its internal state and takes action to correct disruptions that threaten its normal function. System level, intake should equal to output. Water loss in sweat and urine must be balanced by water intake plus metabolic water production. In cellular level, homeostasis is the maintenance of the extracellular fluid, ECF, or environment outside our cells, to maintain ECF at a steady state. The composition of the ECF dynamically changes with time due to the outside condition, like temperature, diet, water, so on and so forth. However, certain factors must be kept within a narrow range for an optimal function of the cells. Those factors are oxygen, carbon dioxide, glucose, metabolites, hydrogen ions, calcium ions, potassium, magnesium, and the temperature. If homeostasis is not maintained, either in the system level or in the cellular level, disease or death is the result. In studying physiology, the pattern recognition is an important skill. Molecular biology studies specialized cells for a specific function. Cell biology studies groups of cells or tissues which carry out related functions. Physiology focuses on organs. Organ systems, which include several organs, act as an integrated manner to perform a specific function. Human physiology studies human organisms. In this course, we are going to focus on the cardiovascular system, the immune system, and the nerve system. Organ is a functional unit. Organ system is a system in which the several organs act together to perform a function. For example, the skin is our largest organ system. It is a barrier for the protection. Respiratory and GI. These two systems allow the entry of the air and the food. Cardiovascular system, responsible for the transport of essential oxygen and nutrients. Renal and GI organ eliminate waste. There is a prioritized sequence in maintaining life. For example, in a harsh condition such as a car accident, excessive bleeding, the body preserved two major organ systems, which is cardiovascular system and the nerve system. This cartoon shows relationship between systems of the body. Some organs are part of the outside environment, such as GI, urinary system, reproductive system. Organ systems are interconnected. For example, the cardiovascular and the renal systems communicate with each other. A change in one is likely to cause the body fluid volume, also influence the blood pressure, and then the kidney function. Immune systems are closely associated with the circulatory system. Cardiovascular system is strongly linked with nervous system in controlling heart rate, cardiac output, pressure, etc. Developing skills to help you understand how the different organ systems work together is as important as memorize facts. As an engineer, you should keep in mind when thinking about artificial organs, since it would require replacing multiple functions. In system level, homeostasis should be maintained. In another word, law of mass balance should be followed. What is law of mass balance? In an adult, if the amount of a substance in the body is to remain constant, the existing body load maintain constant in growing up. Any gain must be offset by an equal loss. The intake should equal to output. The intake, such as food intake, air, water, medicine, should be offset by the loss, which is excretion and metabolism. For example, water lost in sweat and also lost in urine must be balanced by water intake plus metabolic water production. In order to maintain the system-level homeostasis, we have to maintain certain parameters in a narrow range, such as oxygen, carbon dioxide, salts, and hydrogen ion. The range can be tight or loose. Certain factors must be kept within a narrow range for optimal functional. For example, the pH range is very tight. The temperature range is also tight. Bicarbonate is also tight. Oxygen range have to be kept tight. While some are loose, for example, the total lipids and the glucose. The relationship between homeostasis and illness is when the input is equal to the output, there is awareness. If input and output are imbalanced, there's illness or pathophysiology. Control systems maintain the homeostasis. Regulated variables. Those variables have to be kept within normal range by the controlling system. What are regulated variables? What are those? The human body monitors certain key functions, such as blood pressure, pH, temperature, oxygen. Those key function parameters must stay within a particular operating range or a set point, or we call it optimal value. These key functions is also called regulated variables. For example, blood pressure is a regulated variable. It has to be kept within a normal range by controlling system. What is controlling system? The controlling system have two patterns, and in the human body we have a local control, which is normally a simple control system. We also have a long distance reflex control. And in the simple systems, we have to have three major components: input, integration center, and output. The output including output signal plus responses. To summarize this part of the video, the human body is an interdependent set of self-regulating systems. The body's main function is to maintain an internal environment. This environment is compatible with its cells and tissue. The stability of internal variables is achieved by balancing input and output.